Groceries and gas are getting a lot more expensive. Prices of everyday things in the US were 4.2% higher in April. That's the highest percentage increase we've seen in 13 years. And now everyone is freaking out about
inflation.
Inflation.
What the heck is inflation again? Let me make it easy. You know how your grandpa used to say, back in my day, a 7-Up cost me 5 cents. Today it's $1.50? Well, that's not because 7-Up is greedy, it's because of inflation, which basically comes down to the fact that over time, prices will slowly get higher as the value of this slowly becomes less. Governments are obsessed with tracking inflation and they want to keep it low. In the US, it's usually around 2% per year, but most recently it surpassed 4%. And there are a bunch of reasons for this. One of them is that the supply chain was massively disrupted because of the pandemic. Let's take hot dogs, for example. Before COVID, people bought a ton of them because they had gatherings and barbecues. But this past year, no one really wanted to buy hot dogs. But now that people are vaccinated and the CDC told Americans, go ahead, throw your barbecues, people are once again buying hot dogs. And hot dog manufacturers are kind of confused, basically saying, well, how do we know how many of you are actually going to come back and buy hot dogs? Demand is coming back fast, but supply just isn't there. And we all know that when supply is low and demand is high, prices go up. But it's not just about hot dogs or food. This is also the case of furniture, hotels, rental cars, and even flights. Inflation is bad because it means people are less likely to spend because things have become more expensive than they're used to paying. And the US economy is basically just based on a lot of people buying a lot of stuff. Also, inflation causes uncertainty, and uncertainty means investors won't invest, home buyers won't buy homes, but we need money in circulation in order for the economy to move and get bigger. Now, Goldman Sachs is basically not that concerned about inflation and sort of just blaming it on the travel sector. Last year, prices in the travel industry didn't rise by their usual 2%, obviously, so now, of course, it's going to be a lot higher. And the Federal Reserve, which has a lot of power, has dismissed the numbers, saying that this is just temporary and the post-pandemic economy just has to find its footing. And the Federal Reserve expects that later this year, inflation will fall back to around 2%. But let me know in the comments, have you seen an increase in your daily expenses? Also, Lebanon's food inflation is around 400%. It's caused a massive economic crisis. I did a whole video on it, check it out. While you're at it, subscribe to my channel, find me on TikTok and Instagram at Uptin.